Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with Maurice Edwards, who is much better known as Coolmowee. He has just shared his newest single titled Life of a Robot, and I am very excited to talk to him all about it. Maurice, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for scheduling this with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Nice to see what Austin sure looks like.
I know I was gonna say this has been a long time coming. I'm glad I could finally put a face or at least a voice to
Yeah,
the name. So yeah,
you
likewise,
got
thank
more.
you so much.
Yeah, doing good
Um,
here. Mhm.
Well, I want to hop right into it, and I want to say, obviously, we've been covering you for quite some time now, but this is basically, your this is a different take on your music. You've
Hmm.
included your voice into the mix.
Hmm.
Things are a little bit different on the sound, but
Hmm.
I basically want to know what was the decision maker behind that, and what is the song really about to you?
Okay, sure. Well, I guess the first thing is, some of my background songs and stuff. I originally I hired an amazing singer from
Right.
Nashville. Yeah, the girl Nicole Carino. But she unfortunately stopped doing singing, and she's doing
Oh,
voiceover work, which
sure.
apparently pays a lot more money per minute than singing.
Yeah. Why not both? I mean, she's
I
very
guess,
talented and like her
yeah,
voice really made your songs pop, obviously, but okay,
yeah,
all the
yeah,
power to her.
yeah. So she stopped doing that gig last year, I think,
Hmm.
and I had to turn to different things. So I, just released a couple of instrumentals, and then basically I said, well, look, I I've been a singer in a band before. I
Yeah,
can try singing, and so I built. I'm in this. I don't know if you can see it. I'm in a vocal booth that I built
sure,
myself
sure.
at home with PVC pipe and moving blankets. And so and I bought a nice microphone, and I thought, hey, I'll give it a try. I'll try singing on some of these songs and see
Right.
what the reaction is, see if anybody likes my tone. And yeah, so that's where that was. And so that's what led us to me singing on Life of a Robot. In fact, I'll just tell you on that song, it's all of me. It's just we used Vocaloid for
Okay,
some of it, which is computerized generated voice,
sure.
but it's from my voice, and then we got the computer to do it. And then there's vocoder,
Right.
which is basically, and that's where you heard a couple of those sounds like a robot, and that's me
Exactly.
singing, but with a vocoder. Yeah.
It's
So
perfect. And it fits it obviously fits the song title, but it fits the feel of the song. And I'm
yeah,
not just saying this to, pump up your ego, but it really does sound great. Obviously, your
thanks.
music is built to like have these cool features and fun collaborations, but I think it's great that you've also decided, you know what, I'm going to throw my own hat in the ring and I'm going to do it myself here.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before. I sang on a
Right.
couple other songs. There's a song called "Back in My Arms Again." I sang on, but anyways, the other thing I just wanted to say, I think it's important for whoever listens to this. When's the last time you heard a robot pop song?
I mean,
Right?
Daft Punk's not making music anymore, so
I
so
mean, the
here we
last,
are.
yeah, I mean, one of the last, because I actually did some research on this when I was
Yeah,
doing this song. I thought I better check to make sure there's not some song already kind of done like this. So
sure.
I looked around, looked around, looked around. I really didn't find anything. The
Yeah.
last one to really talk directly about robots and stuff was, as far as I can find, is 1983 with Mr. Roboto.
Oh, yeah, that would be it. Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it's definitely on the original end of things, which in a world of music where it seems like everyone's making the same song, you're breaking the mold and making something new, which is great.
thanks. I hope so. That was really one of my intents here, was to
Yeah,
do something different and noticeable, because you keep hearing this feedback from all these
sure.
music gurus, to try to stand out, try to be different. So that's what I tried here. And if everybody says sorry, it's too still 280s, that's fine.
Whatever. 80s, the 80s are in. So,
Exactly.
so what people may not know, if this is their first time listening to you, is of course you're not primarily a singer, you're primarily a producer. Is that correct?
Um, well, kind of, sort of, Austin. I mean, mostly I'm the songwriter. Okay.
Got it.
So I'm the songwriter, and then sometimes the singer. Yeah. And then how do I put it? I definitely get the vision and the like the demo and the structure and here's what we're going to do.
Hmm.
But I do not have those advanced skills to do final production.
Got it.
Like, okay,
But you
so
have
I
a
do.
hand in the process. You obviously
Oh,
are communicating.
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's my song. It's my vision. I say I have the final say on everything, but I do hire some external people to help with the final production. In fact, I use somebody for the production of the music, and then I get the singer, and then I use somebody totally different to help mix it and mix the voice in
Sure.
and stuff. So yeah, that's the process. I'm not an expert producer from a technical standpoint. I don't sit here with
Yeah.
the bells and whistles and stuff. I've done a little bit of
Years
it
of work.
my own. I've done a little bit.
Sure.
I made a little Halloween song with my son here. We mixed it and
That's cool.
put it up on YouTube. But anyway.
That's fun. So yeah, I do want to hear a bit about your process then, because obviously, correct, you are a songwriter. You're writing from the heart here. How does a song start for you? Does it pop up with a lyric that might come up, or does a beat come in your head and then you finish from there?
I think I think a lot of okay, there's two things that happen with my songwriting. One is, yeah, in my head, just something jumps into my head. You're in the car, you're on the bus, you're doing something, and it's just in there, and
Sure,
then
sure.
you go over it, you mix the chorus in there, la la la, and that's how. And then then I go sit down. I'm primarily a keyboard piano player, so then go down, try to see if you can figure it out from head to piano,
Mhm.
and do it that way. So that's how a lot of things have happened with my music. And another way has just been sitting down at the piano or keyboard for hours and hours and just, having a drink and just playing and
See
then
what happens.
see what happens. I'm serious.
I believe you.
Sometimes you come up with some good stuff. So
Right. Usually the best things come at the most non-opportune times when your phone is as far away as possible or you have no way to actually record yourself with a good idea.
yeah, actually, when I was younger, I used to carry a voice recorder, a little recorder in
Smart.
my pocket,
Smart.
and I'd get this little jingle in my head, and I'd go play, okay, la 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 la,
Yep.
and I'd capture it. And
Right.
I still have those old voice recorders, but I can't get the jingles off of them. I need to talk to a technician.
There you go. So
Anyway,
I want to keep the focus on this single, but I also sort
yeah,
of want to
yeah.
take a look back on this entire year and a little bit of 2020 as well. You've been quite prolific and consistent with your releases. So what I really want to know here is how have you approached all of your new releases? Is there anything that I suppose anything new that you've learned along the way that you've brought from song to song up until this point?
Hmm. Yeah, good question. Yeah, definitely. Okay, if we go back to when I started kind of doing this, it was basically December 2019 when I sort of opened the doors to this
Sure.
adventure. And then, I really got together about 4 or 5 or 6 songs before I even started releasing them because I wanted to see,
Oh
is this
yeah.
going to work? Is this going to work? How does it look? How does it sound? Share it with some friends. Oh, it's great, blah, blah, blah. So did that. But um, so then started releasing them. Yes, started releasing them in 2020. I think I released one per month, and even up to and then 2021 slowed down a bit. Actually, slowed down a lot because of the pandemic.
Sure.
And like I said, the singer, she wasn't available anymore, so and I had to find out how I was going to do it, and all the studios were closed because of the pandemic,
Right.
et cetera, right? So things slowed down, and then I just had one in May, and then now I'm picking it up again. I did one a couple weeks ago, got one coming this Friday, and then I have one coming in December the 3rd. So I
Nice.
got a few here. But what have I learned along the way? I guess you can look back on things and say, look, I didn't quite sing that correctly. I need to work better on making sure we do lots of takes on the singing, like when I do it myself, for example. Um, Also, I think on one of my songs, Here We Go Again, it's called.
Hmm.
I look back on it, it's too fast and it's too much boom, 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 and nobody liked it. So you look back and you
You
go,
live and you
well,
learn.
that wasn't mixed properly. That was a failure. And you live and you learn. You're right. And you spend a little bit more time, just be a little more careful.
Right.
Do what I do now is I'll take the preliminary mix or the near final mix and I'll listen to it in the headphones on my monitors. I'll upload it to SoundCloud and go to my car and drive
There you
around, listen
go.
to it. You listen to it from all these different ways to check. if it listen to low volume, higher volume, see if it's going to work for sure, and then you feel a little more comfortable. So that's some of the, I guess that's one of the learnings or things I progressed, improved on, I
Right.
suppose.
You got to give it the old drive test. That's like the most
Yeah, drive
important
test.
thing. Most
Yeah.
important thing. Will people listen to this in their car
Yeah.
and start dancing?
Yeah, exactly.
Um, so most of your music has this consistency of having like that vintagey, nostalgic, almost 80s feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously it's probably music that you grew up listening to. So I do want to hear a little bit about your influences and who, I guess maybe specifically, are you channeling while you're making the music that you're making today?
Yeah, I will tell you definitely that the music I set out to make is supposed to sound like the 80s.
Right.
It's
You've
using mod.
succeeded.
Yeah, well, thank you. You're what.
Yes.
In fact, I have succeeded a lot because when I've submitted a lot of these to Submit Hub, some of the creators say, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's too 80s for me," and I'm like, "Thank you. I don't
Thanks.
care.
I did it. Submit
I
Hub is
did it.
BS
Even though you,
anyway.
even though you rejected me, I appreciate it. No
Right.
problem." So
Anyway.
definitely that's the goal, is to do some, it sounds modern, but it's got a retro feel and
Right.
style to it for the 80s. I mean, it's kind of like, I'd love to say, hey, I wrote a few 80s songs today. There's 80 songs being released in
Right.
2020, 2021 from the 80s. I mean, the big influence you asked are back then for sure. Bands like Depeche Mode and Pet Shop Boys were pretty big
Totally.
for me. ABC, Alphaville out of Germany. And then there's a whole host of others. I don't know. Do you listen to Sirius XM radio in your car?
Occasionally.
Yeah. So, I'm always there on the 80s. It's got some of the
Right.
best music of the
I
last.
agree. I mean, it's what my parents had me on, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit of all that stuff.
Yeah. So
Very cool. Very
So
cool.
yeah, so definitely it's an 80s theme with a lot of this synth wave, synth pop, I guess.
Right.
What I'm doing, it's really trying to make it sound a little bit like the 80s. And I don't mind. I'm not trying to do this to become famous. I'm doing this to have a nice record of what I want and what I think it should sound like.
See, that's the most important thing is,
So
listen, what people may not know is not every musician is aiming to headline the next big festival. I
yeah.
feel like you're making music that you want to hear. And ultimately,
Yeah.
you're the one putting so much time, effort, and money into the process. You
Yeah.
should be happy with the end product.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, you have to respect that. So,
Yeah. Exactly. Thank
um,
you.
you're very welcome. Going off of that, though, because you built up this discography and there's obviously more on the way, do you have any plans to play shows or even maybe potentially even tour these songs?
Uh, Good question. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I got young kids right now. I don't think
Sure.
so.
Bring them
I
on,
don't,
bring them on tour. I'm sure they'd love it.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I guess you know how it is with music, right? Like you put it out there and you wait for
Right.
feedback and you see if it's really good or not. And I've had some pretty good feedback with these songs. Um, so you never know, but it's not like anything has really gone crazy, like wow, and I start getting phone calls from record companies. It's not like that. Um, so I I definitely get it. Obviously, I get it onto playlists. I talk to a lot of people. Hey, can you get it on your playlist? I've been
Sure.
added to quite a few. It's being played. I get quite a few plays on Spotify. It's being played in houses and parties and gyms, I guess, all over the
There you go.
world. And that's more what I wanted. I
That's
don't
awesome.
think I'm planning to tour this. No, I don't think so. Having said that, maybe you'll get into this later. You know, I do have a whole bunch of songs I've written on the piano that don't fit the synth wave, synth pop. It's more other kind of genre. And I'd like to maybe do some of those songs next year as well. And if those are more the acoustic coffee house version songs, then that's a lot easier to go down to your local
Sure.
pub or coffee place and play. And that maybe I'll do something like that in the future. I have played in bands before,
Yeah.
played live before. So
So I'm actually really happy that you just brought that up because it's the exact point I was just about to make was we're very close to the end of this year, which is
yeah.
crazy to say every time I say it. And so I want to hypothetically take a look at what the next year looks like for you. Obviously, in a perfect world of recording and restraints and this and that, but it
Yeah.
sounds like you'd like to potentially experiment your sound. So I'd love to hear what you have in store, what might be in the works.
Yeah, sure. Well, like I said, I built this vocal booth for trying to do a little more vocals, and so that's what I'm doing. I've already got one song almost finished. I got a guy which I made on piano. I played on piano, and I got a guy out of the UK to do a guitar version of it for me.
Cool.
He's really great guitarist. Oh my God, he's really great guitarist. And he's worked with a couple of really good artists in the UK. Anyway, that's something I'm near finalizing the mix on,
Sure.
and but it's totally different, right? It's acoustic guitar, and it's me singing, and it's a sad type song. And do I call myself Coolmowee for that? Do I call myself something else? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I gotta think about how do I present that as the next song to the people that are waiting for the next
True.
synth pop, synth wave song. So yeah, definitely going to do a few more of those songs into next year. I've done a Christmas song, which is going to come
Right.
out. Yeah, everybody does a Christmas song, but I hope you like it. It's more of a synth pop, synth wave with a modern sort of twist of Silent Night. I've called it Silent Night, 80s Night, and it's kind of
Love
different.
it.
It's
Love
kind of
it.
different. We'll see if you
Sure.
like it or hate it. And and what else? Oh, I guess this Life of the Robot song, which we should talk a little bit more about. Originally, the plan was to do it as a full Vocaloid version, so the
Okay.
computer is going to sing most of it. But when we listened to it, we thought it sounds a little cheesy, a little bit maybe not that great. So what we decided is we'll probably release another version of this song with the verses sung by the Vocaloid, and we'll still keep
Okay.
the chorus or the hook with me singing it. Yeah, just to show the technology, how it works, and just show it as kind of a cool. It was part of our process to try this Vocaloid
Yeah.
experience. So I want to share that.
I love that you can go back to your own music and release different versions of it and just say, "Yeah, this is it. If you like it, you like it." Um,
Yeah, yeah.
because
So
your music, it feels like it's a passion project for yourself as opposed to like a potential career, which I love so much.
yeah,
Is there a part of the process from start to finish that you enjoy the most or that you look forward to the most when you're first starting out on a new song?
yeah. I think there's a couple of places I I quite like. The first the first is the just once you kind of got the song figured out, but more lately, I really like getting into lyrics and really trying to
Sure.
tighten them up and get them right. And like on Life of a Robot, like I really wanted to be really careful not to just have simple lyrics. There's actually many meanings you can get from the lyrics in that song, and I wanted to do that. Plus, I put a few nuggets in there referring back to other songs
Sure.
and earlier songs stuff. Try to be a little more clever with that. So I love doing the lyrics for the songs. That really fun. And then definitely the peak, I suppose, is when you've done the mix and it's all ready to go, and you can say, okay, file it for the future release date. It feels great. And then you listen to it over and say, hey, people are going to love this. You got that anticipatory feeling in your body
Yeah.
about people loving it. So I think that's the big part of it. I think when I was younger, I probably liked more about writing songs and writing the melodies and this and that, but I don't focus on that as much
Nice.
now.
How
Yeah.
do you know when a song is done?
Oh, how do you know when a song is done? Well, they say don't be a perfectionist, so sometimes you just got to say
Impossible.
I've spent this much time on it.
Sure.
It's probably done.
I think it doesn't
So
matter what type of art you're involved in. Doesn't matter what it is, there's a baseline level of perfectionism because ultimately your name is going on it and you wouldn't want something subpar to go out no matter how serious or not you are. So, fully
yeah,
understand. Fully
I think
understand.
think so. I mean, you can have your regrets and go, "Oh, gee, I shouldn't have done
Yeah,
that, or I could have done that." But you can always go back in this digital world we live in and go redo it and re-release it. I guess it's all. It doesn't cost much to re-release
true.
stuff.
There you go. And if
So,
anything, it's just another thing to post about. So, blame
yeah,
you.
exactly, exactly.
Nice. So I want to know because obviously we're a music blog and we're always trying to put people on to good music.
Yeah.
What are you listening to these days? Are there any local artists that you can recommend in your area? Is there anything that's really stood
Ooh.
out to you as of late?
I'm not sure about local artists, but
That's okay.
I mean, there's some I've listened to local, but geez, do I remember their names? No. I
No worries.
honestly, oh, I haven't been going out. I haven't been going out, right? And
Sure.
not much has been open here, and mostly I go listening in the car, taking the kids around and stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What I've come across lately is like like Sir Sly. He's pretty
Oh yeah.
cool. I like that music. Snail Mail I found a couple of years
Really
ago.
good.
She's got a new album out.
Yeah.
I really like that. I listen to the Alt Nation channel quite a
That's a
bit.
good place for discovery for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and here's a funny story for you. So my son, he's almost 8 years old, and so he comes to me and tells me, "Hey, Daddy, you should listen to this song." I'm like, "What is it? What is it?" "Oh, that's cool. Who's that?" "Daddy, that's his name's Alan Walker." I'm like, I'd never heard of him.
Sure.
And, and my son tells me about him. That tells you when you're getting older, when your kids bring you your music.
Hey, you know what? If it's good, you can't complain. That's too
Yeah.
funny. Too
But
funny.
yeah,
Very cool.
there's
All
some,
right.
but there's some pretty good people locally. Like there's this girl Justine Giles I've listened to. She's quite
Cool.
good. There's another guy I can't Matt. His name's Matt. Somebody's a guitar player. Sorry, I can't remember.
All good.
Um,
Plenty of good
yeah,
recommendations though to
there's a
get through.
few. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool. All right, Maurice, I've got one more question for you at this point.
Okay.
And basically, what I want to know is for the person that is going to discover you from this, and for the person that is going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
Okay. Opening message.
Yeah,
Well, hi there. Coolmowee. I make music for you to dance to, I think. I
you
hope you like to
do.
dance. I hope you like to dance. That's my main target with most of the songs I've done so far is to get you to dance to them, really.
Right.
Their synth pop dance music. I don't call it EDM, but dance
No,
music. So yeah, it's dance music. I have a couple of other slower songs mixed in. I do, but mainly the best songs that I've made the
sure.
most are the dance ones. So it's dance music right now.
I can fully attest that Coolmowees music is fantastic. So
Hey, thanks.
I'm gonna close this up by saying by the time this comes out, Life of a Robot will be out. Stream it, crank it up loud, send it to your friends, but also check out the rest of his music because it's seriously fantastic and it scratches that itch for good dance music. Maurice, I want to thank you so much for taking
Thank
the
you.
time out of your life to do this. I appreciate it so much,
And
and
you. Yeah.
I sincerely look forward to speaking again, and I hope you take care.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Austin. Thanks so
You're
much for
very
your
welcome.
time.
Have a good rest of your night. I'll talk to you
Okay.
later.
Good night. Bye
All right,
bye.
bye bye.